Hello lovely people, and a happy new year to you all.
Sophie Vlogs.
As I mentioned in last week's video, this week I am going to do a list of 10 books that I would like to read in 2017. I enjoyed doing this year, I stuck to it better than I thought I would, so I thought have another go for 2017 and see how many of them I do actually end up reading. The first two books I'm going to talk about are the final two that I got from Penguin Platform. I've mentioned this before a couple of times in various videos. If you follow Penguin Platform on their YouTube channel, they do monthly giveaways. I won one of them. They sent me some books. All of the ones I've read so far have been really good. So I thought I would set myself the final two to read this year. First up, that is Chasing the Stars by Malorie Blackman. I've never read any Malorie Blackman before. I know Noughts and Crosses is huge. I never intended on not reading it, I just seem to have not done that. This I'm really excited about because it's part of, as the anniversary of Shakespeare's death day came up, a bunch of authors did retellings of famous Shakespearean plays. This is one of them. To the best of my knowledge, I'm going to just sum it up in the three words that got me on board, which is Othello in space. That's all I know. I'm here for it. The back just says, what happens when love brings loss, when love brings lies, when love brings hate. Which, if you're in any way familiar with Othello, like, you can totally already know the sorts of themes that are going to be running through this. I kind of love retellings where they're just like, but let's put it in space. Like, I'm here for them. So I'm excited to read this and to finally read some Malorie Blackman. The other one is River Keep by Martin Stewart. I really love the cover of this. I think it's gorgeous. This was sort of sold to me as sort of Patrick Ness and Philip Pullman-esque, which are two authors who I am just like big fans of. I think it's sort of set in a Victorian sort of reality. Wolf's father has sort of the job of going through the river and fishing out corpses and stuff like that, but then one day he's sort of possessed by some sort of, like, I don't know if it's like a spirit or a demon or something. Something possesses him, and Wolf sort of has to go on this epic quest in order to save his father. I like books where someone has to go on like an epic quest in like a sort of like fantasy-esque world. Like, I'm here for those. I've heard good things. If the comparisons are anything to go by, it's going to be great, so gonna check that out at some point this year. The third book is one that I'm not going to talk about too much because I've mentioned it quite a few times already, but that is The Idiot by Dostoevsky. It's quite long. I'm usually intimidated slightly by long books like this because Anna Karenina took me a very long time to read, but figure I'll just dip my toe in, see what it's like. Should be good. Continuing the Russian theme, my number 4 is Russian Tales from Pushkin to Platonov, which is edited by Robert Chandler, which is essentially just a collection of Russian magic stories. So this is all like folk tales and fairy tales from Russia, as well as I think like more modern stories that maybe draw on all of that stuff. I really don't know Russian literature very well. I'm not familiar with it at all. I've read Anna Karenina and Deathless by Catherine Valenti, and that's probably it. So gonna just expand my repertoire a bit, I think. Number 5 is The Full Spectrum, a new generation of writing about gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, questioning and other identities, edited by David Leifison and Billy Merrill. This is a collection of writings by a bunch of different people that encompass like the full spectrum of identities, sort of. I think it also has a sort of theme of how have we changed from 10 years ago to now kind of thing. So yeah, it might not be something that I read in one go, but I think I'm going to plan on dipping into it throughout the year. Hopefully it's going to introduce me to some new writers, some writers that I won't know, and also just helps me continue to educate myself about the community that I am part of, and all of these things. I have a whole thing about like active learning, so I'm hoping this is going to be something that I can continue to do. After that, number 6 is Just Kids by Patti Smith, which is another book that I've mentioned in a haul video before, I think. This was recommended to me by someone whose taste in books I trust. I know Patti Smith's album Horses. I don't know anything else. I don't know anything about her life. This is sort of an autobiography, but it doesn't encompass her whole life. I think it encompasses like the 60s and 70s, so when she's like trying to break into the industry, I think. Again, I don't know enough about her life to be able to give you anything more than that. But apparently it's really great, apparently her writing is really great, so I'm going to give it a go. Numbers 7 and 8 are also books that I've mentioned in previous hauls. First up is The Heart Goes Last by Margaret Atwood. I've talked about this in more depth in another one of my videos that I'll link below. I love Margaret Atwood. I haven't read any of her stuff in a while. I studied her at university and loved it, so I'm quite looking forward to getting my teeth into a more contemporary one of her books and just sort of seeing what it's like, really. After that is Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe by Fanny Flagg. I hold this one in my birthday haul video because it's a birthday present. Super duper excited for this. The film version of this is just one of my like heartwarming favourite films. Apparently this makes sort of the inferred relationship between the two main characters actually like a thing. So super duper excited for that. Hopefully it's just going to be like as lovely and enjoyable as the film is. I still haven't actually watched the film to remember if it's as good as I remember it, but again, I'll do that in the new year. Book number 9 is The Lions of Al-Rassan by Guy Gavriel Kay. I love Guy Gavriel Kay. I included The Song of Arbonne, or however you still say that, in my 2016 books I wanted to read, and I did, and I loved it. He's always an absolute treat. I always get so immersed in his worlds that he creates, and I just love them. So I thought I would include another one on 2017's reading list. Book number 10 for 2017 is Cocaine Blues by Kerry Greenwood. This is the first of the Miss Fisher's Murder Mystery books. I have watched all of Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries that is on Netflix and absolutely adored every second of it. I think Essie is a fantastic actress. I think the costumes are utterly divine, and it's just a really fun murder mystery type show. So my boyfriend for our anniversary bought me this so that I could read the books. It's very small. I think it's going to be very easy to read, and it's probably going to be the first one that I tackle in the new year because I'm super duper excited for it. Those are the top 10 books that I want to read in 2017. On top of these, I will also add a note that I'm going to continue my mission to read more non-fiction. I actually have done a lot more of that than I expected to this year, but I also have a lot more bought that I haven't read yet, so I'm hoping to get through some of those. And also to continue reading more poetry. I've been dipping into poetry in 2016, and I'm hoping to just continue doing that in 2017. This obviously doesn't include books that are going to be published in 2017, but I do have enough of a to-read pile that I could probably spend the entire year without buying any new books, and I'd be fine. Probably not going to happen, but I could. I would love to hear what books you're planning on reading in 2017, or if you have any 2017 releases that you're particularly excited about, please do tell me about them. I sadly am always on the lookout for new books because I have a problem and can't stop buying them. I think 2016 was like a weird year all around. I hope it was good for you personally, and if not, I hope 2017 will be much better for you and for the world. I don't know why I said in last week's video because I haven't recorded last week's video yet because it's November. Too advanced, Sophie, too advanced.